Hi, this is Don Cowboy Biker Adventures, and welcome to Felicity, California, population 2. But here you will find two very interesting things. The first is the official center of the world. The second thing, which may even be more impressive, is the history of humanity in granite. I kid you not, they have over 700 panels of granite with text and illustrations. It really is amazing. If you spent just 2 minutes on each panel studying and reading it, it would take you 24 hours to cover it all. And here I do it in under 35 minutes. So let's get started. I think you're going to like it. Welcome to the only museum on the planet dedicated to engraving human history in stone. Experience 20 monuments and over 700 professionally engraved panels and over 1,000 illustrations hand-etched in granite. Also, don't forget we have for you the center of the world. The gentleman that owns this is a very interesting individual and has had a very remarkable life. Jacques-Andre Estelle was born in Paris in 1929, and he met his wife Felicia in 1962, hence the name of the town Felicity. In 1940, him and his family left France and went to the United States. There, Jacques attended Stony Brook School in New York, which was a very strict discipline school. During his summers vacations at age 15 and again at 16, he hitchhiked solo across the country, sleeping rough and taking odd jobs along the way. His experiences confirmed a taste for adventure while installing a immense affection for America. More about this fascinating man later. This Normand of this sundial points to the church on the hill at Felicity. This is a three-dimensional bronze sculpture which is the arm of God from the creation painted by Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel in Rome, Italy. A replica in granite of the painting is engraved on the first of the 8 History of Humanity monuments here at Felicity. Sundial times vary from clock time. The correct local time of this sundial is set at noon on Christmas Day. In this building is where you'd buy tickets. It's also a legal post office and a place to buy souvenirs. It's also where you start the tour. You can look around here and see what they have to sell. They have things for kids and adults, but I would say mainly for kids. This is the start of the tour, and the tour guide took us to see the sundial first. But since I've already shown that, I cut that out. Our tour guide gave everyone in our tour a chance to stand on that center of the world plate, which is the official marking of the center of the world. I'll be coming back to this spot later to show you the real view from this spot. Here the tour guide is pointing out some of the main points, such as the chapel on the hill and the Maze of Honor. She's also telling us the rest of the tour is self-guided tour. This group of panels is about the history of California starting in the 1850s. I filmed the over 700 panels out here clear enough so that you could read every word on over 90% of them. Keep in mind, if you pause the video and spend 2 minutes on each panel reading and studying them, it would take you 24 hours to watch this video. This group of panels is about the history of the United States of America. Jacques entered Princeton University at age 16 and graduated with a degree in economics. He became a Wall Street investment banker, and they sent him to Canada to assess a road construction problem in a vast forest. He recommended stoppage, and sale took place, and the sale took enough time for him to earn a pilot's license. The forced sale earned him his first ever bonus, $800, allowing him to purchase a war surplus plane for $625. He flew himself from Vancouver back to New York with only one crash and a passion for the sky. So goodbye to the banking world, and he entered the Korean War as a United States Marine pilot, and he eventually found himself as a lieutenant colonel. More about Jacques later. This group of panels is about the history of humanity for the first 1,000 years AD. This centerpiece will tell you what you can find down each one of the rows of these granite panels. This group of panels depicts the history of humanity and the difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve the world's problems. This group of panels is works of art and illustrations to depict world history. This group of panels is the history before Christ was born, so BC. Confucius says, by three methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second is by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is most bitter. On this group of panels is 5,000 years of world history from 3000 BC until now. Here's a quote: during epic disasters, one learns there is more to admire in human nature than to despise. I can't quite make out the name. If you know who made that quote, make comments below. There is over 700 engraved granite panels out here. There is a lot for future growth. I estimate about 35% out here that are blank right now for future use. So they obviously have hope for the future and of mankind. This group of panels is dealing with history from around the world from what looks like to me the 16th and 17th centuries. Let's go visit the chapel on top of the hill with some amazing views. It is meant for all faiths and is built on a man-made hill. There are 49 steps to climb. This 35-foot tall hill has 150,000 tons of earth which was moved here. This chapel is available for weddings or other events. And I may add, so is the pyramid with the actual center of the earth plate. I'm sorry, I can't make out the three names that's listed here. I hope you can. Look at that view. Now let's go back to the chapel so I can give you a quick look at the ceiling. This group of panels is more history of humanity. This group of panels is history from the seas and oceans. This panel is more history from France with names, faces, and events. These panels is Korean War memorial with names of soldiers that sacrificed their lives, about 1,200 names in my estimate, of the 36,574 Americans that were killed in that war. Jacques, knowing if the motor fails in a single-engine aircraft, by day one could glide to a field, but at night it's certain death. So Jacques purchased a $10 parachute for flying at night. Of course, he wondered if he had ever really jumped. In 1950, there were no parachuting schools, so he arranged a short how-to lesson with a paratrooper. After that, Jacques made his first jump in street clothes, a free fall with a difficult exit from a small Piper Cub. He said that descending fall was almost a religious experience, and he also told himself he must do it again. It was clear the whole affair could be improved on, and this is how he later, in solving these problems with his and other inventions, changed parachuting from a hazard to a sport. He is known as the father of sport parachuting, and the sport became known as skydiving. More about Jacques later. These group of panels is more history of France. The Maze of Honor offers an elegant, long-lasting, and affordable way to preserve your most cherished memories. It was created in response to visitor demand. In 2018, over the course of nearly a year, the 160,000 square foot Maze of Honor was completed. From above, the structure looks like three interlocking circles, suggesting a notation of the past, present, and the future. Each curved, reinforced concrete walls 6 foot high and 1 foot thick, built to withstand the test of time. The maze isn't literally a maze. You will not get lost or lose your way. When you enter the Maze of Honor, the first memorial that comes up is jacques-andre. I don't know much about him, but I do see from the memorial he was about 15 years of age, and I guess he was planning on being a sailor. And his memorial is made up of 24 tiles, 12 by 12 each, and they're $500 per tile. I'm sure you get a volume discount though, but I'm not sure. And if you're interested in getting your own tile for a loved one or a pet or anything, you can order those online. Just Google Center of the World or the History of the World in Granite. I am sorry about the glare on these panels, but in this quick tour you're about to see how empty this maze is at this time. That quick tour should give you an idea of what the maze is like and just how much it can grow in the future. In this group of panels, we'll see the animals of the world with illustrations. This half-scale replica, the Liberty Bell, weighing 250 pounds, was cast for the Museum of History in Granite on Washington's birthday, February 22, 2014, at the dedication of the Granite Monument, History of the United States of America. This group of panels is additional history of the United States. This group of panels is about the history of Arizona. The town of Felicity is named for Jacques' wife, Felicia Lee. Felicia was assigned by Sports Illustrated to interview Jacques, who was then president of the forthcoming 1962 World Parachuting Championships. She later flew with him in a small plane crossing war zones while circumferencing the globe. Her life has not lacked adventure. After a quarter-century career that revolutionized industries in parachuting and sport, Jacques sold his companies and moved with Felicia to the desert and established a town in her name. With more than 50 years into their union, they are not yet bored. Jacques says, "I have the kind of wife who, if I said we are going to the planet Mars, she'd say, 'What do I pack?'" So Felicity is a fitting name for a town because it means happiness. So this place, in a way, is their way to give back to the world. This group of panels is the Wall for the Ages with names of the contributors and to the center of the world plus other information. This group of panels is about the history of aviation in France, which here's an interesting fact. Back in 1912, there were more aviators in France than any other country in the world, including the United States, where it all began just 9 years before. This group of panels is about planet Earth and its 7 continents, with 71% of the Earth's surface covered with water and 9.6% of it is desert. That just leaves about 19% for its 7.7 billion people to live on, which is about 1/5 of the surface of the planet. I say that because less than 6.5% of the world population live in the desert. In this group of panels, we'll see more animals with illustration and information. In this group of panels, we'll see more history of the aviation of France. Here we'll find the history of aviation parachuting, since that was a big part of who Jacques-Andre Estelle was, because it was a big part of his life and helped made him who he was. Now let's go revisit the center of the world plate in this pyramid, since no one else is here. Now let's go take a look at the giant chessboard and the stairs from the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower was built in 1889 in Paris, France by a man named Eiffel. Over time, the heavy original iron stairway caused the tower to sway. 500 feet from the second level to the top were removed in 1983 and then cut up into 20 sections and replaced by a lighter staircase. This section is number 12 of the original staircase, which was climbed by many of the 100 million visitors to the Eiffel Tower between 1889 and 1983. This section was originally purchased by the founding mayor of Felicity, a reminder of his native city. It was installed in 1990 as an outdoor sculpture. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I do adventure videos at least once a week and shorts on weekends. So until next time, have a good one.